Oh, good afternoon. Thank you very much. Good afternoon. My name is Ismael Vasquez. I'm the technical uh, sales manager for and technical sales manager for Carmelo. And today we'll be discussing about our concrete repair products. Thank you for attending. We have people in Zoom and also Facebook today, live Facebook. And Carmelo has been in business since 1955. We have been producing several types of material. We started off uh, making blocks, and we also manufacture several types of mortars, like adhesives, and also mortars for uh, permeability to control permeability as well, for stucco, for let's say plastering, uh, and also we do self-leveling materials, and we also do the structural materials with and without corrosion inhibitors. Okay, so but we want to start with first preparation. We want to make sure that before we use any of these products, we have a good surface prep. And the International Concrete Repair Institute, they have this um, ICRI 03732 document where depending on the product you're going to use, it's going to be the surface preparation, CSP, concrete surface profile, and it goes from 1 to 10. So so for our overlays, which will be over a quarter inch, that CSP has to be about from 5 to 10, right? If you were going to put an epoxy coating over that, then you would use a CSP about 3. Okay, so how do you acquire that concrete surface prep? So here's another table where you can see with several CSP 1 to 10, and on the left side table there, or column, you can do it from detergent scrubbing to all the way down to a handheld concrete breaker or scrabblers. So if you want a CSP up from 5 to 9 for that quarter inch or over, you either need abrasive blasting or shot blasting, right? Or scarifying. Okay, so those are the equipments that you would need for that surface preparation. So here, to get like a surface prep of from 1 to 3, here you can use a handheld diamond grinding, okay? Or you can also use a bigger grinder like this one. Here we apply polyurethane floor on the, over concrete, and then we apply an epoxy coating over that. It can also be a sealer. So you need a CSP from 1 to 3 on that. The great thing about this machine is that it's connected to a vacuum cleaner, so you don't see dust in the working area, which is that's more effective. Okay, so if you want a CSP from 2 to 8, a concrete surface profile, right, or let's say a topping, a self-leveling, or repair product, right, then you need, let's say, a what we call a shot blasting, and this machine, what it does, it shoots these metal balls to the surface, and it opens the surface of the concrete, like you can see here on your left, and uh, and it's also connected to a vacuum cleaner. So this method is very clean. And let me show you a video of how that works. See the guy on the back, he's collecting with a banding. He's collecting all that those little balls are coming out of machines that may fall. But usually, let me see, we collect the balls that are being shot to the surface. So this is the best way to prepare a concrete surface before putting a topping or even an epoxy floor over that. And again, using the International Concrete Repair documents, Here we're showing you the substrate surface preparation. This guideline is a surface prep for repair that the deteriorated concrete resulting from reinforcing steel corrosion. So, so whenever, let's say you have a problem with corrosion and the rebar is expanding, this is the correct way to do the repair. And this method is used on the floor and also on walls or also on the ceiling as well. So the main thing is to have a 90-degree angle with your concrete surface, right, where you're repairing. And you always want it to do box. I mean, want a square repair so that that material has a wall, right? It has a wall where that, and it's not federation on those areas. So at least you need from let's say a half inch and under, let's say, or over, let's say, um, so that you know that material really stays in those repair areas. Okay. So what materials we need to do the installation? So that we have these equipments. Where we prefer, let's say, a 3/4 inch diameter variable speed. Mainly, let's say 500 RPMs. Okay, that's what you need. And we say box, right? Because uh, it can either have uh, two two sides or four sides on that mixer, right? So it can be square. And they also come rounded as well. It all depends on what you're mixing. So here, you can either use if you're doing it handheld, right? You take this 50-pound bag, and then you be pouring it in the pails. Let's say it's about a gallon. So first of all, you put half of that water, half a gallon in the bucket. Then you be pouring your cementitious material in the bucket, and then start mixing it. And until then you keep on using it, let's say putting more material, and then till you finish adding that a gallon, or maybe you won't need that much of a gallon, probably 0.90 of a gallon, and that'll be enough depending on the product you're using. Then you have these porter mixers as well. These are like 40 gallons, and then they already have their mixers in it, and these are very effective whenever you're putting, let's say, self-leveling underlayment or topping. Okay, so those are in the market as well. And we also distribute these machines. This is the Monomix. This machine, you break the bag on top of that hopper, and we provide, let's say, a hose about 30 foot, and you adjust the amount of water in per bag as well. And here you can apply, let's say, 60 bags in an hour of let's say self-leveling water. Now here you can also spray it. This machine has a spray gun where you can spray it vertically or let's say or underneath the ceiling, and you can spray a structural mortar, or if let's say you just are using it for just plastering, you can use it on walls, also underneath the ceiling. So this machine is very versatile, and we sell these machines as well. We represent the M-Tech machine in the States and in the Caribbean. Okay. And then this is the also an M-Tech machine, the M30 mixer. This one you would use it for concrete. Our concrete in the bag is like a has an aggregate about 3/16 of an inch. This would be similar to like a almost a regular mixer in a barrel, where this one is just mixes. It's not a pump, so you can just either mix it and put it in a wheelbarrow, or take it to place and then deposit the concrete right there and then. So, but if you need let's say let's say a pump as well, we also have the P50 where you can use that material and deposit with the D30, deposit the mixed material to this pump, And then you can also spray it or use it as let's say with a self-leveling or underlayment as well. So but this one is like a three-phase machine. Both of this one and the previous one is a three-phase machine. So you really need to have that either a generator that's like let's say 16K watts to operate these. Yeah, the mono mix only needs like it's a one phase and it's 220 volts. So that one is easier. You can plug it where you can plug your, let's say, your stove or dryer, that type of plug. Okay, so our concrete specialty mortars, for horizontal repairs, these are the ones that we use, the Easy Mix concrete in colors. That means that we have like 5 colors that we can present these mortars in. Terracotta, it could be which is red, right? Gray or yellow, brown. And so easy. So this is a, let's say, a concrete where you can fix, let's say, sidewalks and things like that. So they come in versions of the 3,000 and 4,000 psi, and also we have a version of the 5,000 MA. MA means mineral aggregate, where we add that mineral aggregate, and now we have an early strength, let's say about 4,000 psi in less than 14 days. And then you can, let's say, shot blast the surface quicker, and then also put an overlay over that, like a polyurethane membrane when you're, let's say, waterproofing a parking deck. That's the new part about that product. And then the Flowable Concrete 7000. This one is like a self-compacting concrete, and that this product doesn't have like a, let's say, a slump, so you have to measure the spread. It has a spread about 30. So it's a very versatile concrete where you can form it as well, and we'll give you some details on those applications. And then we also have the self-leveling underlayments and also the fat set leveling topping, which this one you can use it as a finished floor. Okay. So let's go one by one and describe where we can use these materials. So the Easy Mix, again, it's a concrete product. It's a 50-pound bag. Okay, usually we put like a gallon for every bag, and this will give you, like, let's say, a yield about 0.40 cubic feet. Okay, so you would need like it's like 70 of these bags to make a cubic yard. Okay, um, and and again, you can be using this for, let's say, pavements, sidewalks. You can go down all the way down to 6 inches with this product. You can cast in beams and columns as well. Um, you can do curbs. You can do ramps. Since you can control the slump of uh, this product, so you can use it where you have these ramps and you need a low slump. You can use it on footings, swimming pools, and so cast and placed, and so you can form these, um, and beams and columns depending on the specification. If it's 3,000, 4,000, 5,000 psi, uh, which you need, then you can cast those beams and columns accordingly. We also use this as, let's say, a topping. You can do a topping, let's say a 1 inch or 2 inch topping before doing let's say, an underlayment, okay, or a self-leveling topping. And again, they come in different colors, so you can make a concrete very decorative. Okay. So the way if let's say you're doing a sidewalk and you have a ramp and you want to distinguish that surface, you can make it, let's say, have a exposed aggregate with it, so that way that concrete is not slippery. And the way you do that is that you place the concrete, right, and then wait, like, from a half an hour to an hour, And then with a regular water hose or garden hose, you can wash away the paste of that surface, and then leave the desired surface exposed to that aggregate. Since it's a uniform 3/16 aggregate, it really looks real uniform. And you can also, again, ask for the product to be either red or yellow, and then you can distinguish those areas as well. Um, and we always say don't use a pressure washer to the expose the aggregate, because then you're going to take too much of the product out, and then you take out the levelness of the product. And here are some of the colors, right? Yellow, um, terracotta, marigold, brown, gray, yellow, natural. Natural is red, natural color of the concrete, let's say. So here's some jobs we have done with the EC mix. Again, these comes in 3,000, 4,000, and 5,000 PSI mixes. Um, so the higher the PSI, the more expensive the material gets, right? So depending on the use you have, right, in that project, here we had this parking deck where they wanted to fix the surface, so they applied the material right over the surface. You can use a latex or acrylic bonding agent before applying the mortar that way, or you can also use an epoxy bonding agent as well to help in the adhesion of these material, okay, to existing concrete. So here you see the finished product, but they want to level this before putting, let's say, a, uh, a waterproofing membrane on that parking deck. Another application here with the e-cements, this one we did it on, let's say, interior and also exterior. We were going to put, let's say, a polished self-leveling topping inside this building, and instead of putting, let's say, 2 or 3 inches of underlayment, which is going to be more expensive than this product, um, we decided to use this product at, let's say, 1.5 to 2 inches of topping, and then over that we put a 1/4 inch to 3/8 of an inch uh, topping, a self-leveling topping over that. I mean, it really came out real nice and shiny. Um, so that's one way you can use it. Also, on the top of the roof, they wanted to waterproof this, so they also put the EC mix on the top of the roof. And this time we used the 5,000 MA, since they wanted to waterproof it as soon as possible. So they used that EC mix 5,000 MA on that surface. We also carry let's say, the fast set level mortar. This is a finished topping, okay? And we say fast set, but it's a very workable self-leveling topping, where it gives you about like almost 30 minutes, right? But you always want to pour these from mixed to mixed, wet on wet, let's say. So with the self-leveling, you want to level your floor. Let's say you're trying to level a bathroom, or you want to level, let's say, a bigger area, and you want to change also the surface texture. So you can do it with this FS level mortar. And the minimum you need in thickness should be like at least a 1/4 inch. Okay, at least a 1/4 inch there. Um, so you can use it, commercial, industrial, residential, construction and restoration of these slabs, of concrete slabs. Okay. And so now, so now the FS level mortar will give you, let's say, a more smoother surface, right? Um, and again, it gives you at least a workability about 25 minutes, and we can, since it's cementitious, we can also use it interior. We have used it even in rooftops or terraces, so you can use it inside and out. And And like it says here, I mean, in 4 hours, you can put it into service, at least walk on it. I mean, you can't, after 4 hours, you can't, let's say, put, let's say, carts or anything like that, but but you can already walk on it. So this product has about 4,000 PSI. I mean, very low shrinkage. So it minimizes cracking. Uh, has excellent adhesion to concrete, but we can use, let's say, a primer for self-leveling underlayments or topping, or you can use an acrylic. Um, and so, it's mostly recommended to level just concrete slabs. Um, so again, when you're mixing it, and let's say you're using the porta packs or using a let's say the mono mix pumping machine. I mean, with using the pumping machine, you really are saving a lot of time in mixing these materials. But it all depends on the size of your project, right? If you want to do it by pail, or if you want to do it by every five, or mix every five bags in a porter mix, or you want to do 60 bags in a minute in an hour. I mean, it all depends what size of a project you have. So that'll be the equipment that you'll need to do these jobs, right? Here, this is a school where we use the self-leveling. Here they diamond grind the surface, and they put they put an acrylic over that as a bonding agent. Okay, so again, you prep the area, you clean the area first, vacuum clean everything, make sure everything is clean, and then you put your primer over the surface. And here we use the monomix machine. Here we did this job not only on the first floor, but also in all the hallways on the second floor as well. Then you can see how they break the bags, and it passes through a hose. Here we use two hoses for that second floor, which was like 60 feet hose. Um, so 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 no need to bring those back to the second floor. Then you can see here how they see the one here. It deposit the say the self-leveling. Then you can go with a leveler or a gauge rake, right? You want with the gauge rake, you can control like a 1/4 inch to 3/8 or 1/2 inch material, and so depending on your application, that's what you're gonna need, and the tools you're gonna use. So here, then after doing the let's say using the gauge rake, then they use a porcupine roller to take out the air, and also it also helps level the surface as well. And here we used over the surface, we used some vinyl flakes or micro flakes over the surface, because the school wanted that like a terrazzo look on the surface, right? So here, you see, we put all the flakes on the floor, and see how the effect is changing, right? Then we sealed it um, with you have to use a chemical resistant urethane on the surface so it doesn't yellow on you, or or another sealer that can withstand, let's say, UV rays on that surface, right? Um, Usually we seal these floors like 7 days after, since this is cementitious. So you have to wait until most of that moisture gets out before you seal it. That's very important. Okay. So this one came out real nice. Then other than the self-leveling topping, which is the finished floor, we also carry the underlayments. So that, I mean, underlayments, what is this for? Anything that's, let's say, under the tile, under an epoxy, under something, right? That you want to put or an overlay over. So that's where you're going to use this underlayment. Uh, and and again, it really just it really flows, and it's going to give you a real smooth and leveled floor. And it also has the workability about 25 minutes as well, indoors as well. And this one gives you about 7,000 PSI in 28 days, which is amazing. But the only thing, and you can't put it in service for service in 4 hours. You have to wait 24 hours to put it in service, right? And then your tiles or put your epoxy coating over this one. So this is the underlayment, okay? So again, you prep your area, you mix it the way you mix it again. You put half of the water in. Usually, this one uses again about a gallon of water, and um, and then you put half of that gallon in the bucket. Uh, Pour you in your underlayment. Then start mixing until you finish the mix of that bag. Then you take it to the area, and then you just pour it on that area. Then the main thing is that you do it wet on wet, so that way you don't have any joints, cold joints, right? With these materials. Okay, so here's another job where we used let's say a vapor barrier first, and then you can also use vapor barrier with sand. Broadcast sand over that, and that will be your let's say your bonding agent, let's say, or your primer before putting your underlayment or topping over that. So here, from left to right, right? Um, they were pouring the product, and then how it dried up. This was a cleaning room in a hospital, and then we did let's say an epoxy floor on that, so it was seamless as well. And in those operation rooms, I mean, what they require, that these floors be seamless. So, if let's say you want to use forms and you're repairing forms, you're doing beams or you're doing columns, or let's say you're doing some repairs where you need to put forms. So you would use either the Easy Mix 3,000, 4,000, or 5,000. Or you can also use the 5,000 with the mineral aggregate, which gives you the higher resistant early age. And also you can use the flowable concrete 7,000, and that one is again a self-compacting concrete, okay, in a bag. Mm. Most of the time we get those with the ready mix producers, um, and but we were able to design this material and have it in a bag. Um, And then we also have a product called Complete Mix, and this one we add aggregates to it, and you can also do repairs on vertical on buildings. Okay, so here we formed the Easy Mix here on that top part of these stairs. So that's how we formed it, and they fixed the surface with the Easy Mix there. And this is the self-compacting concrete, the flowable concrete 7,000. Look at the spread that this has, is about 33 inches. And you can measure slump on this, right? So and at 28 days, this is 6,500 PSI. Um, and has a good pull-out strength. Um, and look at the length change. It's about 0.09. That's what you want in a repair product, that length change of ASTM 157. Uh, uh, you it must be about 0.9 or less. Okay, so good properties there. Then if you, let's say if you want to do repairs in vertical or overhead, then you can use the structural mortar mix 4,000. And this is a sand cement with additive. All of our products come in with fiber, and that's to control plastic shrinkage cracking. So the structural mortar comes in 4,000 and 6,000 PSI. But we also can add a corrosion inhibitor in those mortars. And um, and we have the 4,000 and 6,000 structural version as well. And we also have a corrosion inhibitor repair mortar finish where you can also coat the rebars with that. We just add water and with a brush you can give it, let's say, two coats, and then put your corrosion resistant structural mortar. Um, we also carry the complete mix concrete repair mortar, and that one also has a corrosion inhibitor. And you just add about 12% of pea gravel uh, in there, and you can create more volume with that material. Okay, so we'll be talking about the hydro plug, which is our hydraulic cement, and we also carry the an impermeable finish. Okay, so let's go one by one here. So the corrosion repair mortar, we have that in let's say a 50-pound bags, and also those bags we put it in a pail and we sell it out to the warehouses, so that way they last longer. But usually in projects where they're going to use it right away with contractors, we can sell it just in bags. So the corrosion is interior repair mortar is a mixture of cement, sand additives, and it has a migrating corrosion inhibitor additive in there. Okay, um, and then you just add water and it's ready to mix and apply. So that corrosion inhibitor will extend the surface life, let's say service life of the structure, right? So that's very important. That those patches that you make, or the repairs, that they will last longer. Um, Usually the finished product, this one has about almost 1600 psi, which is not, we call it like, you want to plaster with this material. So let's say if you're doing repairs, let's say half an inch uh, under the rebar, um, or up to the surface, let's say from the rebar to the surface, you have half an inch. This is a product you can use, right? Or you can use it just to coat the surface of the rebar and then use a structural mortar. Okay, so if that concrete, or that spalling of that concrete is about an inch to 3 or 3 inches, right? Um, Again, you can do repairs of bridge piles, piers, and again, you're protecting yourself from salts, humidity, water coming into that concrete. Um, so it's not a toxic. So again, it's just a 1800 psi. So this is not a structural mortar. This is just for plastering on the outside of some areas. Okay. So let's say you have something, let's say real deep in corrosion, let's say, and you lost, let's say, an inch, 2 inches, 3 inches of concrete, uh, you know, and you have exposed rebar like this. So this is where you're going to use a structural mortar. A structural mortar, we call it over 4,000 psi. Um, so again, this one also has the corrosion inhibitor, the migrating corrosion inhibitor. Um, you can spray these mortars and either with our machine, the mortar mix, or you can apply it by hand. Uh, and it's again and using these machines, spraying a large area, let's say let's say on a ceiling that was spalled. I mean, you're really gonna make you that job in less time, and then that's where you're going to be very cost effective with that mortar. Okay, so again, you can spray it vertically, or you can spray it underneath a ceiling with the machine, or you can apply it by hand. So if you have something like this, and again, the first thing you do is you go around the rebar. You have to make sure that you with a wire brush, or you clean the surface of that rebar, and then you put a corrosion coating over that rebar, and then you apply the structural concrete mortar over that. And then you can see the repair roof So you got the before and after there. Okay. Here are some patches. This was a parking deck where they had some precast, and so they again cleaned the surface of the rebar, and they use a corrosion inhibitor over the surface as a coating, and then they use our structural mortar with corrosion inhibitor um, to to uh, to do the repairs. So so this product is about 4,000 psi, and again, it has a low shrinkage measured with ASTM-C 157. That's 0.9% or less. Okay, and you can use, let's say, um, repairs from 2 to 6 inches. You can add aggregate, 3/8 of an inch saturated surface dry aggregate, right? That way you don't put too much water in that, moisture in that mix. So you can use from 10 to 25 pounds per bag. This is the complete mix mortar. There we did this job, and these were two towers. They were like 18-story high, and they had a lot of spalling on the columns and also beams. So we did the complete mix repair mortar. Uh, Here they added a an aggregate that that was matching the existing color of that of that the existing concrete. So we had to match also the color of that surface as well. So we had to go in the lab and try to let's say match that color that was on that surface. Um, so that's how we were able to get this job. So it came out real nice. Then we also have carry a hydro plug, and this product is again to repair cisterns or repair leaking cracks or holes. Okay, um, it has a strength about 5,000 psi in 24 hours. But again, wherever there's moisture coming out, let's say if you have a leaking tank or or, or a slab, you can fix it with this hydraulic cement or hydro plug cement. It really cures, and the way you use it is that you make a ball like if it was a putty, right, or Play-Doh, and you mix the product with water, and then you make some sort of ball. Let's say you have a 1 inch let's say hole with gushing water. You can press your hand with that mortar, and you just leave it there. And you got to make sure you wear uh, black gloves with thick black gloves, right? And so that will hold, let's say, the gushing water, and then this product will expand immediately, and it really heats up. So then after no water is coming out, then you shave out all the excess mortar that you don't need. Okay, so you can use it in elevator shaft, duct sewers, right? Foundation piers. Okay, here's an example of that. How you can fix the gushing water. I get contractors putting this product on roof, like if it was a topping, and they shouldn't be doing that. Just use it for anchoring, or let's say it has to be uh, at least has to have like 3 walls to be able to put these mortar in. Okay, if you're using it, or let's say to fix a crack, let's say you got to open them at least half an inch, and then do the mortar and and mix it and apply it. So we also have an impermeable mortar, um, and this one it's a mixture of sand and cement and additives, right? Um, and we mix it just with water, okay? And it's good for, let's say, foundation waterproofing, underground tunnels, base walls, elevator shaft, wells, garage closets, bathrooms. Okay. Um, one thing with this product, it doesn't like to be coated. So if you're going to try to put some paint over it or a coating over it, it, it it's not going to really stick to the surface. So it comes in a gray or white version, and you just leave it there without coating it. Okay, it's more, let's say, more industrial than any other thing, right? Well, I really appreciate your time, and again, if you have any questions, you can write us there at carmelo.com or carmeloacademy.com. We have other webinars that are coming up, and you can go into our page and you can also register on our page for those webinars. If you need any other information like data sheets or SDSs, we can send those to you as well. Um, well, thank you very much for your time, and hope you enjoyed the webinar and learned something new things about Carmelo.